Morning. Today is the 4th of July. It's a federal holiday in the United States. I'm sure all of you know that. It commemorates the ratification of the Declaration of Independence, and that happened on July 4th, 1776. That means this country is now 249 years old, and next year we will be 250. How's that for some piece of mathematics today? And the founding fathers of our country declared in the Second Continental Congress that the 13 colonies were no longer subject to the monarchy of Britain, and that was King George III. And we declared independence. We were now united, free, and independent. And the Congress voted to approve independence by passing the Lee Resolution on July 2nd and adopted the Declaration of Independence 2 days later on July 4th. Now, this day is commonly associated with fireworks and parades and barbecues, carnivals, fairs, picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions, political speeches, and all other kinds of ceremonies. And in addition to the various other public and private events celebrating the history of our government and the traditions of the United States, Independence Day is the national day of this country. And I remember the fireworks. And when I had a condo that overlooked Long Island Sound, I could look across the Sound and watch the border of Connecticut light up the sky on the 4th of July. It was wonderful. And during the American Revolution, there was a legal separation of the 13 states from Great Britain in 1776. And it actually occurred on July 2nd. But the Second Congressional Congress voted to approve a resolution of independence that had been proposed in June by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia, declaring the United States independent from Great Britain. And after voting for independence, Congress turned its attention to the Declaration of Independence, a statement explaining this decision, which had been prepared by the Committee of Five, which asked Thomas Jefferson to author the first draft. And while Jefferson consulted extensively with the other 4 members of the committee, he largely wrote the Declaration of Independence in isolation over 17 days between June 11, 1776 and June 28, 1776. And he was renting a place on the second floor of a 3-story private home at 700 Market Street in Philadelphia, now known as the Declaration House, and that was within walking distance of Independence Hall. So Congress debated and revised the wording of the Declaration, removing Jefferson's vigorous denunciation of King George III for importing the slave trade. And it was finally approved 2 days later on July 4th. Now, he believed that the 2nd of July in 1776 1776 would be the most memorable day in history. But he was off by 2 days because from the onset, Americans celebrated independence on July 4th. That is the date shown on the much publicized Declaration of Independence, rather than July 2nd, the date the resolution of independence was approved in a closed session of Congress. So here we are now on July 4th, 249 years later, arguably the greatest country in the world. And we have overcome an awful lot in our lifetime. But we are now the world's leader of independent nations anyhow. And historians have long debated whether the members of Congress signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, even though Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and Ben Franklin signed it on that day. Most historians have concluded that the Declaration was signed nearly a month after its adoption, on August 2nd, 1776, not on July 4th as commonly believed. But who cares about that? We celebrate on July 4th. That is our day. That is our Independence Day. And there was one U.S. president that was born on Independence Day, and that was Calvin Coolidge, born on July 4th, 1872. How's that for a coincidence? In any event, this is our great holiday. Go out and celebrate July 4th, as we commonly call it. And remember, in 1 year, we will be around 250 years. Something to think about, something to remember, something to believe in this country. Let us see if we can continue to maintain our greatness. Because there are many in this country who are working hard in the wrong direction. So I leave you with that. Celebrate. Fireworks. Do your best. Hug as many people as you can. Take care. Have a great 4th of July. Bye.